Hi everybody, and Happy New Year. I hope your new year started off much better than mine. I had the stomach flu and I've been down since, well, Thursday. I laid in bed most of the day, nauseated, and just now today finally feeling good enough to actually eat something. So started off with a bout of the stomach flu. Hopefully that's not an indication of how this year is going to be, because I've had enough bad years in my life thus far. So anyways, I started off with a new video that I've not posted before, where I made this cute little sign that I got from the Dollar General, and it's really cute. The bow really added something to it. Get it in the light here a little bit better. I'm going the wrong way. Anyway, it was a very easy DIY. I hope you like it. And then I added the Chevron sign that I made during the years. One of my favorite things that I made, and it turned out really cute. But I don't have that down here. It's actually upstairs. But trust me, it's really cute. So then I added, at the end of the video, I added the two crosses. How I used the school glue to crackle the paint and make it look distressed, and made the burlap flower, which I do have a video for the burlap flower if you're interested in my videos. And then I also made a square cross, and I just added this like a week ago. It's a dried flower or a paper flower, I guess, from the Dollar Tree, which I bought in a pack, and a pack of the dried flowers, and I cut the flower. You can't see it. That really sucks that you can't see it. I guess it's the lighting. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Look how pretty that flower is. So, this cross turned out really cute. I think. So, anyways, so those videos together, putting the crosses on the end of the video made it a very long video, but it's worth it because those crosses turn out so pretty. So if you want to make them, be sure and check out the whole video. I really do appreciate you. I hope that you'll hit like and subscribe. I really do need more subscribers. I need more views. And I wanted to make sure that I got a video out this week, even though I was sick. I just wasn't able. I didn't want to see another video ever again. I couldn't even see myself walking down into this room. I was so miserable, and I kept telling myself, it's just temporary, it's just temporary. But man, oh man, you don't feel like that when you're sick. So anyways, I hope your new year started off a lot better than mine, and I hope it continues to be a good year for everybody. Thank you for watching. This is such a quick and easy DIY that you almost can't even call it a DIY, but it turns out so cute. So I guess it doesn't matter how long or how hard it is, it's the end result. So I found this sign at the Dollar General, and their summer things were clearanced, so I got it for $1.50. And I'm plucking off the paper succulents, which were very well made, I will say. And then I'm just trying to smooth out that area. I have some succulent planters, like wall hangings, that I got from the Dollar Tree at some point this year in the summer, and I just couldn't figure out what I was going to do with them. Some of them are in square wooden containers, and some are triangles. So I didn't know what to do with them, but I knew they were cute and I wanted them. So here I'm trying to figure out how they had stuck these things on there, but I found out there's a little nail, a little tiny nail sticking up through there. So I'm going to take my little baby hammer, and I'm barely going to pound it down. I mean, you don't have to pound very hard, that it went right down. So It would have helped if I would have been on the nail when I was pounding, though. But anyways, I just pound it, slightly pound those nails down. Now my goal is to not tear any more paper off of that than I have to, because I don't want you to be able to see the tears in the, they're just like Dollar Tree signs. The paper's fragile, on the front side. So the succulent I'm pulling out there, I mean, it's so easy to pull out. It left all the glue on the inside. So I still have these cute frames to work with. But anyways, I thought, how cute would that be if it had 3 protruding succulents instead of just one? And I didn't notice it until after I got the other 2 succulents on there, that the succulent in the center is not really centered. So I do end up moving that also. But so the hardest part of this DIY is knocking that paper down, to make sure that my succulent can sit up there, evenly, not lopsided, without tearing it up. So I was being very careful, not to tear it up too bad. So then I'm going to use my hot glue, and I go to use it, and there's no glue stick in it. So that's classic me. So I can tell by my reaction here that I was frustrated. I actually did this video a couple months ago, so I didn't remember until I watched it again. Like, why? How do you not notice you don't have a glue stick in your glue gun? But anyways, that glue gun quit working on me. I absolutely love that little glue gun. Now I got the bigger version of it, though. But, it only lasted me a few months. It didn't last me very long. I was kind of disappointed in that. But I still went back to the Chevron. So I have the bigger gun now. But anyway, so I'm still dealing with glue and bumps up on there. Things that'll keep the succulent from sitting flat. So that's all I'm doing there, is just trying to peel that up just enough so that the succulent will sit evenly. And as you can see, that center one is not centered. But even though, this whole video was 11 minutes long by itself, and even so, it still turned out really cute. It's a really cute DIY, and it looks better, with the 3 succulents sticking out than it did with just the 1. So I'm doing a compilation video. Geesh. I didn't have any time to do a video this week because I was deathly ill. My youngest boys came for Christmas on Wednesday. This is Sunday. And unbeknownst to us, my son had some type of stomach virus. So here the nail came out with the succulent, but the glue stayed on. So I have to be careful, not to peel too much paper up when I take this off of there. But anyways, unbeknownst to us, he had a stomach virus. And Thursday, I went to get my booster shot for COVID, and I noticed before the shot that I was getting very sick to my stomach. I was feeling very, very ill, and my body hurt. And I thought, well, wait till after I get the shot, for crying out loud. But so anyways, I knew when I got sick then that it wasn't from the shot, it was from a virus. So up until yesterday, I couldn't eat anything. And I did end up eating some ramen noodles and made myself feel better, but I did not get a video done. So this is how quick and easy this little DIY is. So, if you keep your mind open when you're, going through these stores, especially when you hit the clearance rack, there's a DIY there somewhere. And I just thought, how cute would that look with 3 little succulents sticking out of it? And I was not disappointed. So I'm just going to make a simple bow. Shoestring bow, I guess, is what everybody calls them. And I did not speed this video up because, like I said, it was only 11 minutes long to begin with. So I just left it at full speed. And so I just make a simple shoestring video. Oh my goodness, where did that come from? A shoestring bow out of Dollar Tree lace ribbon. And then this ribbon I got from Amazon. So I saw Monarch Mom DIY fold her bows like this or tie her bows like this, and this is the first time I've tried it. And my fingers are a little chubby, so a little chubby. Yeah, they're a lot chubby. But anyways, it did turn out good, so you know, a little practice. But I thought these 2 bows would look cute together. Up on the top where we're going to hang it, it has a wire hanger on it. It seems like to me like my video is hesitating a little bit, but I won't be able to tell until after I do it and put the voiceover on it just how bad it really is. But hopefully it turns out good. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're all having a great year so far. It's only been 2 days. Mine started off kind of yucky with me being sick, but I'm hoping that's not the way the rest of the year is going to play out. Yeah. So anyways, I put these 2 bows on it, and I think the little, what is it, buffalo check? Is that what you call the little black and white ones? I don't know. Sometimes I get my gingham and my buffalo checks mixed up. So, but anyways, I think that really pulls it off. Makes it look really super cute. So I hope you enjoyed this DIY. I plan on putting another video on here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna pull from ones that I've already published or new ones that I actually have that I just haven't you know, that I haven't actually voiced over and posted yet. So I do want to make sure I get a video out every week. At least I try to, but being sick kind of put a damper on that. So here it is, in case I don't say it in another video. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. If you could hit like and subscribe, I'd be much obliged. And I hope you have a very happy new year. I really do. Happy year, not just new year. Happy year. Thank you for watching. Hi everybody, it's Terry. Hey, don't look at my double chin. I just want to do a quick intro. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today I am going to, among other things that I put on this video, but I'm going to make a chevron sign out of bamboo sticks. So I'm going to, after I warmly welcome you all, I'm going to put the camera down here. And we have these, I got these off of Amazon. I don't know if you can see, I don't have a lot of room here. The SKU number on there. And this is a piece of a pallet that fell apart. I tried to salvage it. It was in the storage room of the house. These bamboo things are supposed to be 12 inches, but they're not. They're 11 and a little bit more than 11 and 3/4, and some of them are bowed. So I will be using the, what is this thing called? Is this the, what is this thing called? I don't know. Anyways, I got it from Amazon. It is awesome. I won't link it in my video because I don't get paid, you know, to do so. I do love it. It cuts through these bamboo sticks like nobody's business. So I'm going to be measuring out. See, a lot of these are bowed, but that's okay. They're just flimsy little bamboo sticks. We're going to be gluing them. They are approximately 11 and 7/8. So they're not consistent. I've gotten some that were longer and some that, yeah, this is 11 and 6/8, which would, you know, as fractions go, you can, whatever. But anyways, I don't need to measure this. This is just a piece of wood. You can use anything you want. You can use a Dollar Tree sign. You just need a flat surface, because we're going to, like I said, we're going to do a chevron sign. So I'm going to take the skewers and I'm going to cut them straight close to the center, which I found if I stick with 5 at about 5 and 7/8 seems to be about half on most of them, give or take a 32nd or a 16th, you know, depending upon the skewer. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop this, and then I'll be able to go into fast forward mode. And other than that, you're going to need some wood glue and some hot glue and something sturdy to cut with. Before I got this, I did use the X-Acto knife. Eventually you're going to need some paint, whatever colors you choose. I'm going to be using some apple barrel, but I'll show it to the camera before I use it. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. I just love working with wood. I hope to get better at it as I go. It's very time consuming when you measure and cut, and the end results are so pretty. So I said on there I didn't know what the name of that thing right there is, but it's miter shears, and I did get them off of Amazon. I think I paid $30 for them, but they're worth every penny, because you can cut popsicle sticks like this, the bamboo skewers, if I said that right, bamboo skewers, and tumbling tower blocks. It'll cut those in whatever angle you want them cut at. So anyways, of course you're doing a 45-degree angle, and anytime you do 45-degree angle, it always butts up with another 45-degree angle. There I had it just a little bit squared on the end, so I put it back in. This has to be pointed in order to fit, up against each other correctly. There, my hand's getting a little tired, because I believe it's 22 sticks like this, so I did a lot. I didn't do them all at once. I had done a few at a time and left my hand to get better. Okay, so I started off sideways here, which would have took a lot less time, but look at how the ends would have been. I would have ended up having to cut those all off using my saw. So then I decided to go with the vertical. Is that vertical? Yeah. And that's better. So there's a little crack in my wood right there that I was lining it up on that like that was the center, and then I realized, hey, wait a minute, I didn't find my center yet. So anyway, you want to find the center of whatever you're working on. And there I'm just measuring in different places to make sure it's the same, it stays the same, and it does. So anyways, put your get your center all the way up the board so that you can draw a line, so you know where to place your bamboo sticks. At one point in making this, I somehow got off track, and it's right at the start. I ended up taking them off because there was only just a couple on. It seems like I think it did it twice. There was only just a couple on at the time. I didn't get the very first one right where it should be, so I didn't have it. Like when they go together, it's like it's open to a certain degree. I didn't have that correct when I started off with my first one, so it caused the rest of them to not be okay. So when you're putting them on, you want to see the line that you drew right in the center of your two sticks. So I think it was the one, when you're looking at it, it was the one on the left side that I just didn't get situated right. Now it's easy to find your your angle that you should be at when you place these two together. So it's easier to work with two of them. Gosh, I'm trying to explain that. So I put one down just to show where the other one goes. So I had already put glue on that one, but I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend that you don't put the glue on until you're absolutely ready to place that piece down. But it was something about right there. I didn't open it wide enough or something. And there I'm just checking to see if my hot glue was even on. I put hot glue at the tip and then hot glue at up by my fingers there. And at some points hot glue wasn't on there. It was off the board. So I did check periodically, but as I got closer to the top, some of the spots I put the hot glue on didn't even touch the wood. So you want to be careful of that. So I tried to put my fingers, after a minute here, I tried to put my fingers where the wood ended. And I think seriously what messed me up at the bottom before I realized, or I'm going to realize it here in a moment, is that crack right in. See, I'm noticing that it's not. The pencil mark is off, which you can't see. Oh yeah, there it is too. The pencil mark is off to where my wood pieces are. So I shrugged my shoulders and I kept going until I believe I went off camera and pulled them off and fixed them. I had to pull off just one side, the other side was fine. It's just one. If you get one of them the slightest out of place, then the rest of them don't go on like they're supposed to. And then somewhere towards the top it happened again. And I didn't have to tear them all up. I only had to tear up one or two of them because I noticed it right away and I fixed it right away. Excuse me. I do believe I know I did. I tore it apart off camera. And I should have done it on camera so you could see the blooper. Just to know, we all make mistakes. We're all good at mistakes. I just realized that my microphone is way over there and you probably can't even hear what I'm saying. Gosh darn it. And you keep going and going with this. And until you get up to the top, I just, cut out a lot of the. No, I didn't cut out the video. I stopped recording and did a bunch of them and then come back on to do more. I'm not that good of a video editor. But I know it's long and boring if you just watch somebody do the same thing over and over. But I do, this is an instruction instructional, sheesh, an instructional video. So, I mean, obviously I want to do what I'm doing so you can see what I'm doing. So, anyways, this really took my mind off of things. I didn't get bored with it. It wasn't, anytime I work with wood like that, it seems like I've met my, yeah, see, I'm holding my finger right where the wood comes. See what I'm doing? I'm grabbing it right at the edge of the wood, so that way I know where to put my hot glue. And I had so much wood glue, sometimes it just comes running out of that Gorilla Glue. It just comes running out. And I noticed that with my other wood glue too, so it's not just Gorilla Glue. I suppose you could just leave those pieces out to the side and decorate it that way somehow, but I just want the actual piece of the crate, the size. So anyways, I cut that off. I thought, you know what, maybe if I cut these off, they'll already be at the right angle, because it looked like it was the right angle. So I cut these pieces off, and voila, they really are at the right angle. So I had to sand them down a couple times because my cut wasn't very straight. But just to fill these in instead of cutting more skewers. Oh, that one worked out really well. It must be the next one I end up having to sand. But, instead of cutting two or one, we've only been one skewer, I just went ahead and cut pieces off to fill in the rest of the tippy top. So, the tippy top or the boopy bottom, I don't know. Whichever way you end up hanging the sign, it could be the side, it could be the right side, it could be the left side, it could be the tippy top or the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to take the ones that I just put down and cut them down. Of course, I waited for the glue to dry. This is fast motion, but the hot glue dries up pretty quick. But, just be careful if you do this that you don't pull it off. And, you're just scoring it a few times and then breaking it off. And it just amazes me how it fits in there like that. So this one didn't fit as well. I could see that right there. So I'm just going to sand it and try to keep it as flat as possible. When you're sanding, because if not, you'll sand your tip off, or, yeah. You can't see it on the video, but it was rounded just a little bit. Just enough to keep the tip from fitting in there perfectly. Oh, there it is. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then after we get everything on there, we're going to cut the edges off. I used wire cutters. There, for my sanding, I had to wipe my table off. And cut these tiny little pieces off. You know what? It works, and I think it turned out looking really well. I've wanted to do a chevron for a while. Every time I look, on Pinterest, and I see woodworking or palette. What the heck am I trying to say? I just woke up. It's 9:30 in the morning, but I just woke up. I took a nap. Anyways, I see, it'll be like 100 different palette projects or easy things to do with wood, and I always see the palette or the Chevron pictures, and I'm always like, I'm gonna do one of those. So I did, and it actually is easy to do. It's time consuming, very easy. So you don't have to be mechanically inclined. Sorry about my phone ringing. You don't have to be, have any special skills or be mechanically inclined. I didn't use a saw or anything. I just used handheld tools. And, if you don't have the miter shears, so here I am at the bottom. That one was too short, so I did end up cutting another one. Cutting another bamboo stick. Or two. Yeah, I think that's how I reached the 22, because I already had 20 of them up there. But yeah, you don't have to have any special skills. You just follow this video. If you don't have the miter shears, you can use your, you can always use a scroll saw. They're such tiny pieces, they have those little tiny saws. Or you can use wire cutters, and this is probably thin enough that you could use a pair of scissors to cut through. So, but we want to cover that whole end down there, because once we're done, when we trim this up, we want them to be squared. Now, my choice of wood has a slanted piece down at that end, so my wood underneath is not squared. You see, it's cut at an angle from that crate that I saved it from. Most of the crate had to be thrown away because there was water damage at one point it was in the storage room, but there was water damage down there at one point. The basement flooded up a little bit, not super bad, but the crate got neglected and got kind of shoved in the back behind a bunch of stuff when they were moving stuff to get to the whatever it was. I think it was the pump had went out. So it got pushed to the back and got waterlogged. I did save another crate and made a paint shelf out of it. It holds all my little, I'm going to say apple barrel paints, but whatever that size, the smaller size paint containers. And it looks really cool too. But I actually used, I don't know how much they cost at Walmart. I think they're $4 for $1 for those little rulers. The rulers that I use in almost every video of mine. They're real cheap rulers. But I use that on there to hold the, as the paint wall, to hold the paint from falling out. But I didn't stain them or anything. It's just light colored, and the crate is real dark colored, so I didn't really finish it to look cool. I keep thinking about it, I have all these saws and I have this wood. Why don't I fix that up? But that's me down here crafting all day, and I'll tell you, some days I don't have anything to do down there. But if you look around, there's probably hundreds of things to do here. So anyways, yeah, just go ahead and cut all these off flush with your wood, or however you do it. Suppose if you used a bigger piece of wood, I'm not sure what it would look like if you had them all glued down to a piece of wood and you didn't have to trim any of it off. I'm not sure what that would look like. I think it looks cool in the shorter pieces. And the possibilities are endless as to what you can use this for. So anyways, I'm going to paint, and I took out a bunch of blues. I haven't even turned my light on down here. I have Summer Sky, Electric Blue, Sky Blue, which Summer Sky and Sky Blue are different colors. And I have Blue Bonnet and Mermaid Parade. So I started with a darker color, thinking of the ombre effect. And at one point, as I get up towards the top of that, hey, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 paints. I go ahead and put some water in because I want to distress this. And if you use water to water your paint down, it's real easy when you wipe it. It'll already give it that distressed look. So that's what I did. And plus I go back over it later with the sandpaper. And it turns out so nice. That color right there is probably my favorite. And I believe that's Mermaid Parade. And anyways, so I kind of went lighter with that. There's my water. It's just normal tap water, even though it'll say distilled or some kind of purified drinking water or something on it. It's just tap water. I just bring it down here in a jug because I don't have a sink down here. But anyway, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. I just went with different blues and watered them down, do my paint job. So we had a little commotion going on in here last night. Nothing, it wasn't anything major, and it wasn't anything that doesn't happen at other people's houses, but my son and his wife had a minor spat in there, right next door to me there. You know, it's just one of those things. It's a situation that we've all been in when, you know, we've argued and, you know, said this and that and whatnot. So I was a little distracted here. I guess that's my whole point, was I'm just a little distracted. I can hear what's going on. I wish I couldn't, and I wished I hadn't come downstairs, but I did, and I was already in the video. But everything turned out fine. I mean, everything's fine, but I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, so I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to how far or how many slats I colored each color. I should have went with more. I should have done more of the first, you know, more of the second, more of the third, so that it all would have come up with the 5 colors. But I didn't, so at the end of it, when I've already done all of the colors, I go ahead and start making my own. And I think the one that I liked the best after the lightest color, which was sky blue, I believe, it was summer sky. I went ahead and mixed that with the electric blue. Excuse me. I mixed that with the electric blue, darn it, and come up with my own color. And it's really pretty. It's a really pretty color. So anyways, that's what I did. So the ombre effect, you know, is dark to light. But I ended up going back with dark because I just didn't, I just wasn't paying good enough attention. But it still ended up looking really good. It just wasn't what I had planned on. I had planned on this beautiful ombre picture, whatever. What do you even call this? Is it a picture? But anyways, yeah, so I just started mixing blues, come up with different colors, even though they are dark, and I wanted light. I'm going to keep saying that. Anyway, it still turned out looking really well. Really good, I should say, not well. It can look well, it can't see. But there we go, made it a little bit lighter. Put that on. And then I kind of brushed that over some of the darker colors. And then right there in the center stayed really light. So I just kind of brushed this around a little bit, and it actually, made it look really pretty. So, then I'm going to go ahead and sand it. And I think it looked fantastic after I sanded it. It looks really rustic. In the center, where some of the sticks, when they were cut, they kind of splintered just the tiniest bit, but it was all right in the center. So I do go up with a piece of sandpaper and kind of sand that up a little bit, and that's where I'm going to focus on after I distressed it. I guess I didn't. Anyway, bamboo skewers. I think this is what these originally were. Started off as bamboo skewers, and they just don't have the tip on them. Because I've bought a bunch at a Chinese, it's a big tent at a flea market. I found the fat skewers like this, and they're pointed. And then after I started using the ones that I had, I was like, oh man, I need to get some more of those. So I found them on Amazon. I also had someone who watched my video commented and told me that she had found them on Amazon also. So thank you so much. And anyways, they're really easy to work with. When you stain them, they look just like regular wood. So I'm going to use burnt umber. That's mostly burnt umber and water. There originally was a tiny drop of black in that, but it's probably to the point where I've done burnt umber and watered the black right out of it. But anyways, I like this method because it's there's no waiting time. You put it on and it dries really, really fast. If you use like the Waverly Antique Wax, it doesn't have a super long drying time on it either, I've noticed. But this I feel like it dries quicker, and the glue will stick to it. The hot glue sticks to it better than it does with any other kind of product. In a short period of time, I should say. So if I only let this set in an hour, my glue is going to adhere to it really nicely. With something else, you have that waxy coat, and your glue might not adhere to it the same. And I'm relying on wood glue with a dab of hot glue, but the hot glue is what I'm using to hold it on, until the other glue sets. So, this was one of the spots I was like, wait, I'm going to put a frame on this, but how do I go about doing this? How far out does it need to be? Because my my other sticks have to go in there. And I thought, well, let me just hurry up and put this side on. And it took a little concentration to figure it out. So I'm picking out my hot glue that gushed out. I know if I don't get it out of there before it gets super hard, it's harder than heck to get out of there. You have to pretty much cut it out. So every time it gushes out, I stop and pick it out. So I've got a gap up there. That's what I'm showing you. So I'm going to pull that first side up just a little bit because I think it come up crooked. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling that up, and then I'm picking off the hot glue so that I can re-glue it. And and I had to use a little bit of force to move it without picking the whole stick up. I just kind of curved it inwards a little bit, and you can kind of tell it, but for video purposes, it's fine. Plus, it's going to go, I think I'm going to put it on my bathroom wall. So you look up and it says, hey, hello there. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do later. I'm going to put a cricket design on it that says, hello there. It turns out really, really cute. which actually is almost to that point where I'm going to do that. So I'm going to quit talking and go live while I do the Cricut Studio, and then I'll be back after that's done, after I'm done, to talk to you some more. But once you get the first couple pieces on, then the last piece is a piece of cake, because it's like a puzzle piece. Alright, I'm going to stop talking. I'll be back. Okay, so hopefully I hold the camera steady enough here. But my measurements are 10 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to go to images here. Paper here. And I already typed in, where's my mouse at? I already typed in up here, hello. And I have this one here, which I like, hello there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And then I add it to my canvas. So, since I have 4 3/4, let me go ahead and big screen here. I'm going to go to, and then I'm looking at my measurement right here, of course. I'm trapped right here. My mouse is trapped. Anyways, so I have 10 3/4. I don't want it to be like that big. I'm going to make it about 10, I guess. Oh, I can't see if I'm even on the screen or not. Here, this is trial and error here with my USB thing. So anyways, I have 4 3/4, and I'm at 3 4.31 or 0.431. Sorry, it's early. And you know, if you want to change and make it longer, you just unclick the lock here and, you know, spread it out whichever way you want it to be, you know, by this or that. So I'm going to go to about 4 right here, and then I'm at 10.5, so I kind of want to bring that in some. Yeah, so we're a little over 10 and a little over 4, so I'm going to go ahead and make that. Maybe it's running slow for some reason. I'm not sure if it's my internet or if it's Cricut. It did do an update. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. Okay, now we're just going to try to get it on there as straight as possible. I don't know why my voice got so loud right there. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you have, since you did the chevrons, you have the point in the center where the wood or the bamboo meets. Geesh. All of a sudden I can't talk. Anyways, where it comes together. So it's like a line going straight down the middle, which made this really easy to place. I just left about, 1/8 or a little more of an inch from the H and the O, and that's how I made sure that it was straight across. And then I did the same thing with the lines on the sides. I made sure that they looked like they were equal, you know, equally distant from each side. So that was the first time I used that piece of transfer tape, and it was nice. I use that tape until it's so bad I might as well just use my fingers. But I'm so frugal when it comes to throwing stuff away. I just never do. And I think this sign looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it to seal my design down. My Cricut design down. You see me pick it up, like I'm going to put more on there, and then I changed my mind, because I covered the words really well. You can't really tell in the video, but I covered everything up really well, and I thought, well, I'm going to put some more on there, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to. I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll add another, good coat. Excuse me. I'll add another good coat to it. Let it dry completely. Then I'll take it up outside, of course, and spray it with it's Rust-Oleum matte. It's a sealer. I can't remember the exact name, and I don't have the can right here in front of me, so that's how I remember things, is by not putting anything away. That's not true. Sometimes I put stuff away and I can never find it again. So it's all or nothing. Either put everything away and never know where it's at, or I put nothing away and it's in my way all the time. So anyways, I decided on rope, and I think this rope makes it look really rustic. So I believe it's 1.5 inches in from each side. My sign is approximately 11 3/4 inches long, and at first I'm like, well, where's the center point? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that, because I'm putting the rope on the top part of it. There's a ledge there where the bamboo and the wood, so I went 1.5 inches in the start of my rope, and then I did that on the other side, and it matched up perfectly. And for real, people, if you've made it this far in my video, I absolutely love you. I'm in love with you. But anyways, I do appreciate you so much. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. I need more subscribers. I assume that someday it'll happen. At least, if I didn't think that, I wouldn't still be making videos. But anyways, I was going to put another video on this, but I decided not to. Just do the one and be done with it. So anyways, thank you for watching. Hi everyone. Today I want to do, or this is Terry, by the way. I want to do a wooden cross where I just do the cross, no talking, no throwing of the hands, just simple, take care of it. So anyway, you remove the sticker and then you sand it lightly, and always remove your dust from your area. You don't want to have any dust there to ruin your paint, to get into your paint. So then you take the twine off, and I always save the twine and I reuse it later. I know a lot of people just cut it off and go on about their lives, but okay. So this is my same mix of the burnt umber with a little bit of black and some water, where it, you paint it and it kind of soaks into the wood a little bit. It doesn't really take it a long time to dry, but you have to make sure this dries completely. You will not get the same effect if you don't let it dry all the way. I just realized that my camera is not close to me. It's got my microphone on it, so hopefully that wasn't too bad there. But anyway, you cover this. You want full coverage, so you have to get the sides and the back. Everything has to be complete, because this is going to show through your top paint. So I'm just going to do the simple crackle with the school glue. It's the easiest and cheapest way to do it. I mean, you can buy crackle, but if you mess around a little bit with this, you can perfect it. It really turns out well. Really turns out really well, actually, using the school glue, which I was really happy to to know how to do this, because that crackle costs quite a bit. It costs quite a bit of money. But after this video, I'm adding on a video of one of the square crosses. I bought a case of crosses from the Dollar Tree, and you know, I ordered it online and then picked it up at the store. So with that, you get the 3 different size crosses. You get the big one, which I'm working on there. You get a smaller kind of version of that one, and then you get the square, just, you know, rectangles making a cross. So they're all beautiful when you get them done, but people don't care much for the squared ones as much as they do for these. So that says chalk paint on it. I just want you to know it's not chalk paint, but it's seafoam green is the color. I did try to make chalk paint out of that, but it never really panned out. So it's actually a latex paint from Ace Hardware. But you want to apply a liberal amount of glue. You want the whole thing covered up to the edges, everything. Don't go against the grain. Because your paint is going to crackle the way that you put that glue on. So you want to stay true to the wood grain. So you put it on, and you drop your brush in the water, and you grab your other brush to put the paint on. And when you put the paint on, you're going to put that on very, very liberally also. You really want a lot of glue, and you don't have to wait any time at all. You just go ahead and add your paint. I was waiting. I think my original video, I said 20 minutes. You had to wait, but you don't. I found out since then that you don't have to wait at all. That it actually works better if you don't wait. I don't know why that is. See, I always get way too much glue, but that's what you want. And that container, you see me wiping that in there, it's got glue in it too. But I keep using it. I keep using the same one. But I'm only using that container for the crosses. So the glue that gets put back in there really doesn't hurt the paint, because I just keep using it over and over again, and it hasn't done anything so far. So the sides of the cross, you got to be really careful when you do the sides. So you're always going to have some excess glue on the sides, and then you want to just take it and kind of spread it around. It does not have to be perfect. See, I messed up as soon as I started. My brush went over the top, and you don't want to mess up what you've got going on up there. So you have to be really careful and kind of brush upward instead of running along the side. But it doesn't have to be covered completely with the top coat, because you're wanting that bottom coat to show through anyway. So excuse me. So you know, just do the sides a little bit, and you can always do them again. You can always wait and do them when you do the back side of the cross. I do both sides of the cross every time I finish a cross. So you'll see me here for video purposes. You'll see, yeah, I'm going to show you different stages of where this is at. So you'll see long parts of the video where I'm not even in the scene, just letting the cross dry and letting you see, you know, how it is at different stages. So let's see, but you dry it completely, and I use that little Dollar Tree fan. I've only ever seen them once, and I was lucky enough to snag one, and I can't find it right now that I really need it because I'm hot. But I don't know what I did with it. It's pink, for crying out loud. How in the heck did I do it? But anyway, so I use that little Dollar Tree fan. I put fresh batteries in it and leave that over top of it. And you don't have to do that. You can let it just sit and dry. But for video, I wanted it to dry a little bit faster, so I put that little fan on it, and it works out really well. So instead of pausing the video and then coming back and whatnot, I wanted you to see how it crackles. So I take it like I'm doing right now. I take it off of there and I show you, you know, up close. You can see it starting to crackle there at the bottom. I'm kind of in the light, but you can see it's already started, and it's only been just a few minutes. So I'm going to go at, you know, different intervals of the drying process and show you, you know, what's going on. And, you know, it's kind of supposed to be like a time lapse, but I don't have the camera close enough. I don't have a good setup here. I need to get a tripod or something where I can move that camera around easier. I just don't have the setup for it. So here I'm just going to walk away and let it dry and let you see, you know, how long it takes, which made for a long video, but I think that it's neat when you watch it. And I want you to see, you know, it's real time. It's what it does, you know, what it does. So you can see here we're getting some pretty good lines in it. Sped the video up quite a bit to, you know, try to get it, but I showed you it in just a few minutes. Then I think it's an hour. You see there at the bottom we're getting some really good crackle. Had to change my battery. My fan was running dead, and that did it right there. Sped that fan right up. Okay, so there we go. I believe that was at 1 hour. So I'm going to show you here in 2 hours, and then I'm going to show you in 5 hours. But look at that. Look at that crackle. It's turning out so pretty already. Looking good. Look at it. So awesome the way that works. Just that the glue dries faster than the paint. There we go. That's really pretty good. Good angles on that. And that's in between, I think in between an hour and 5 hours, because I'm going to show you the 5 hours. I think at 5 hours, here we go. Oh, I was just showing you. I think I put that in the wrong spot. Not me, mess up a video. Come on. Come on. Anyway, look how pretty that is. And I think that was at 5 hours. We're at the 5 hour mark. Oh, I see me. I'm making a little outhouse there in the background. Oh, that's at 2 hours. I said 2 hours on that. That's really good for 2 hours. And that's applying a liberal amount of glue and a liberal amount of paint. There's no right or wrong. If you don't use as much, there's 5 hours. You're at 5 hours. And now it's pretty good to the touch, but I don't think it's quite ready to do the back side. Okay, so now I think it's completely dried. I did not do the back side of that yet. Just for video purposes, you're going to see that I did not finish the back side, but then it's going to skip to where I finish it and the back side is done on it. But here I'm making a burlap flower, which I have a video for that also already on YouTube. Check it out. But this flower, once I found this flower, this is my favorite flower. It's time consuming. Excuse me. It is very time consuming. I know it's very annoying that I have to clear my throat all the time. It's not just annoying to you guys for the video, it's very annoying to me too, so I get it. I would be, you know, if I'm sitting there listening to someone doing this constantly, I'd probably be a little weary of watching their videos, but I hope that doesn't dissuade you from viewing my videos. I have COPD and I use 2 different inhalers, which, you know, most people that have COPD do, and the one is the steroid. It's I think it's Symbicort, and it brings that stuff out. So it just really, my throat always needs to be cleared. If I don't use my inhalers like I'm supposed to, I can't breathe, so I wouldn't even be able to talk to you right now. And I had a bad flare-up 2 days ago, and it was just absolutely horrible. I wanted to go to the emergency room, But I only take a few steps and I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And I'm downstairs in my house, down in the basement, which don't picture this old cruddy old basement. This is actually all completely redone, or completely finished. But I have to go up and down those steps if I want to come down here. And the other day I couldn't do it. I just could not come down here at all. And then of course I have the bad knees, so sometimes I have to kind of sit down and scoot my way down. It's the, actually going down hurts worse than going up. I don't know why that is, but for my knees, I can hear them like make this groaning noise. And I'm not kidding. They make this, well, it's bone on bone. They make this creak. That's what I'm looking for. They make a creaking noise sometimes when I'm going down. And if I turn any way whatsoever, oh my goodness, my knee's out for weeks. For weeks, it hurts so bad. So, and now I'm dealing with my my back issues. I have some pretty bad back issues. I got some really bad news yesterday, but you'll hear me talk in the next video when I talk about it. But anyways, there's my burlap flower. Look at how pretty that turns out. Now see, I don't have the backside finished there, but you'll see there at the end when I glue everything on, the backside is finished. I'm just pretty much doing this just, you know, just for video purposes, showing you how I will finish that off. But I don't glue anything here. I just showing you how to do it. So look at that beautiful crackle on that. It turned out so good. So here I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything down, finish it. When you cut this down, make sure you glue right away. And I know I say that in the next video too, but it's so important because I've had probably 3 of them where I went to hang them up and they just dropped. And because of not all 3 of them didn't, but I had 2 of them that while I'm working on the second knot, the first knot just come undone. So I had to go back and redo them because I didn't get the glue on right away and it let some of that twine slip through the knot. So you're better off just to go ahead and glue it immediately. And yeah, as soon as you cut it, glue it. Then let's see, I always do both sides of the crosses, even if I show you on here. But this one's done. I did both sides, and then you pick out the best side, and that one right there is so pretty. It turned out so pretty. And then I'm going to glue my burlap flower on, and then that will be it. I'll be doing the other cross for you. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Okay, so I took these wooden crosses from the Dollar Tree, and I, oops, not finished. I do the fronts and the backs before I do any kind of finish on them, but I crackled the paint like I do with the other shapes. With these square ones I do a little bit different. I notice on here that my color doesn't seem to be coming out as bright as in real life. So this is a really bright yellow. It's really, really pretty. And this one is gold, so you can see that. And then silver. I did the metallics on them just to see how they would come out. And I absolutely love the yellow and the green. These two, they're absolutely beautiful. This green one turned out so nice. If you can see that crackle. But anyways, I showed you how I do the other shaped crosses, and I thought, well, let me show you how I do how I've been finishing these. I take the Dollar Tree burlap ribbon with the lace on it, and I I pull that lace off. It comes right off. It's pretty easy. You just you can use your scissors or your knife, and you just kind of pull it. It really kind of doesn't cut that well, but you can come to the back side and just start cutting. It'll pull, it'll cut. But you can use your scissors or you can use your X-Acto knife. Just be very careful. Keep your fingers away. Never pull the blade towards you. Hopefully you can hear me. I always have either video or audio issues. If I try to dub my sound in, I always end up not being able to match it up because of some issue I have with something. So anyway, you can just pull that off. I do the whole roll sometimes. Sometimes I just do a part of it, but what you end up with is this, a roll of lace. And I suppose you could just go buy a roll of lace, but I was working one day and I didn't want the lace on the burlap. I just wanted the burlap. So I just started pulling it off, and then I thought later, how am I going to use this lace? So I take it, you know, it comes off like this, and then I take it and I cut it. I cut it off here, or cut it down the center. Don't cut it off. I cut it in the center. And since I have a lot of crosses to do, I probably just go ahead and do the whole thing. But you cut it, you know, very easily right down that center. I mess it up. I mean, I end up like right here. I don't know if you can see that, where I didn't quite get it in the center. It's not a big deal. You're not going to notice it so much unless it's really big. Because I can go back here, you know, there's different spots where I've done this. But it's okay. It's alright. So, I'm going to take the green one here. And I'm going to pick out the best side. Got some glue on there. I better plug my glue gun in. That's what I better do. This side here I think is the best side. So, the best side, I want to put the lace on the back side of this, since this is my best side. Let me plug my gun in. So, which doesn't matter at the moment. You're going to cut this so your lace, your flat part is going to be on the cross itself, and the rest of it will hang over. So we need to have, and you want it to be a little bit longer than what you actually need. That way, if you accidentally get a short piece, the rest of it's going to cover with the next piece. So I take and cut one piece, and that's perfect size right there. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is basically the same size. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at that length. And then here I'm going to need about here, and I'm going to need 2 pieces of that, and then I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the ends, and these do make these longer, because later then you can go in and trim it a little bit, but you're better to be too long than to not have enough. So once you get your basic ones cut, then all you have to do is go in and trim these down. Or trim more, whatever I'm trying to say. You have to read my mind sometimes, guys, because some things get trapped up in there. They just, as my joke, I know everything, I just can't remember it all at once. Or, my brain is like a steel trap, just snappy, but it also traps everything inside. Sometimes it just don't want to come out. Okay, so I needed 4 of those. Then I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these. Sorry, I lose my memory a lot too. Just a short term. Long-term memory is just fine. Unfortunately, sometimes I want to forget stuff. So anyway, I thought I'll just do a real-time video because, you know, I plugged in the hot glue. I don't really need the hot glue. See, that's what I'm telling you. Anyway, I should have just tried to use 1 instead of 2. I thought I'd do a real-time video. That way my audio and my video match. Right? Oh my goodness. My last video was terrible because it double played the same scene, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, and while I was doing the sound I realized it, but I did want to go back and redo it because I already redid that video 3 times and have so much trouble. I need to buy a really good video editor if I'm going to keep doing the YouTube videos. That's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I just need 2 of these, so I just need 1 more. Wow. Yeah, so I'm going to use tacky glue. So on these, was that it? I think so. Then, you know, I'm really bad about messy stuff. You'll see behind me. I think I'm going to put things away and I tear stuff out to make room for something else, and then I just stop. Okay, so you're going to need your tacky glue, and you can start with any one that you want to start with. I like to put my glue on something. I like to try to take the lid off. It's already off. I like to put a big blob of glue down, and I leave this always stored upside down. That way it's always ready to go. I don't know why. I think I'm a quick draw or something. Okay, then I like to take a toothpick and you know, smear it where you're going to need it. Hopefully you can see me well. Yeah. Anyways, then I just take it and I smear it on there. And then later, if you need to adjust something, you can. Not a big deal. And I try to, you know, keep it right to the top and make it even. And I know that's a lot of, oops, you know what I did? I forgot to turn it over. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over just because I wanted that other side up. Here, wipe the tacky glue off. Turn it over. Wow, this side's really cool too, though. Gosh, now what? Alright, so anyway, I'm going to put this back down. It has plenty of glue on it. Spread your glue a little bit. Just make sure it's up at the top. And then, move on. You can do them, just go down and do them, or do all the shorts first. Do it however you want. I came up with this when I'm gonna say a couple weeks ago. I was like, well, everybody's choosing the other crosses, so what am I going to do with these square crosses to make them, more appealing to people? And I had thought, well, what about lace? Why can't I put some lace on these? And because I have this lace just sitting here, like, what am I going to do with this? And I'm not a lacy kind of gal to actually, like, put it on something I'm sewing or something. Plus my sewing machine is down. I'm having all kinds of trouble with the pressure foot. Not the pressure foot, the feed dogs. When I hit the what do you call it, the reverse button, first of all, I have to use my fingers to do that. I hate that about it. But I just got me a sewing machine to get me by a few years ago. Stopped using it, and I mean, I've completely torn it apart. I've done everything. I've went on the Singer site and got it all oiled up. I got it, tore it completely down, put it back together. Just can't find a solution for that problem. Completely rethreaded, but every time I hit that reverse button, it takes my fabric down inside the machine, and it doesn't matter if it's thin, thick. I can see if it's really thin material, but it just doesn't matter. So it just sits there and it jams it down. And I have tried, I mean, literally tried everything, and I know people are really helpful when they say, well, did you, and everything that you can say, I did. I mean, I went on and troubleshot this for weeks, trying to fix this problem, and I finally just gave up and said, you know what, F it, I'm going to buy a new sewing machine, but you have to have money for that. So, oops, kind of messed that up. Once you start to set, you don't want to touch them like I just did. If it's a little bit crooked, nobody's really going to notice that, I don't think. That looks like hot glue. I never put hot glue on these. Anyway, so I wouldn't be able to sew lace on my sewing machine anyway, so. But this would be good, I mean, seriously. See, now here I didn't get this quite long enough, because down here I want them both to touch here, and up here, see what I got. But my next one that I put on might fix that problem. But I want these to be longer than that, and I cut mine too short. Telling you not to cut it too short, and then I turned around and did it. Let me see what's going to happen here with this one. If it'll cover it. And it does. So I lucked out. So this one is going to come all the way to there. Still make it out to the other, and cover that piece, that gap there that's missing. So I lucked out. Just, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. That was kind of broad there. So I got some bad news yesterday. I have it's an SYRINX. It's a cyst or a tumor in my spinal canal up in the thoracic area, and also among many other issues I have with I have multiple herniated discs. Excuse me, multiple herniated discs, they're up in the very top are mild to moderate, and then as you go down they go moderate to whatever you call it, severe, I guess. And it's really weighing on me pretty heavy, I will say. I've not been this worried about something since my husband had cancer, but I just knew the way that these symptoms I have came on so fast that there had to be something in there that expanded or something, because it was just like all of a sudden my ribs hurt so bad. All of a sudden I couldn't I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't do anything. I had to have a back brace, and I had to wear it all the time, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I felt like, I was crouching, but then my legs went numb, and I was like, what? Legs just can't go numb like that, but they did. And I don't know that that's due to the cyst. I don't think it is. So we want to even up here with our other one, and don't worry if we're too long out here, we're going to trim that anyway. So, but just make sure that we're even here at the edges. Kind of hard to see with my white background there. Okay. And then, which I couldn't, no, I didn't put an extra. Okay, so anyway, stay on the tip of your toothpick. And then, so yeah, so I'm a little worried, and I thought, let me do a quick video and take my mind off stuff, but here I am talking about it. So, anyway, I can't quit thinking about it. It's the same as, like, I don't know. I just don't know. It's like uncertain future. I see the surgeon on Wednesday, and he will give me the fat and skinny of the situation. The nurse that called me yesterday was very nice, and she tried very hard to explain stuff the best that she could, but she said, you'll talk to the doctor and he'll give you the rest of the information. So I have to wait, and I don't expect it to be anything good come out of it, but a new surgery, I'm sure. Well, they wouldn't send me to the surgeon if it wasn't that bad. But so let me see if I'm even here. Yeah, even to both sides. So remember, just make sure that you're all the way up at the top, or all the way up at the where they meet together. Just stay all the way. Oops. My finger's sticking to everything. A little bit more glue, please. So anyways, these turn out really pretty this way. Like I said, nobody's wanting this style. And I thought, well, let me see how I can doctor it up a little bit. And, just sitting there looking at it, I thought, well, wouldn't that be really pretty if it had some lace on it? And sure enough, it was. I mean, it did turn out really pretty. I'm not tooting my own horn, it just... Actually, I am. You know what? I came up with this and I'm proud of it. Huh? I'm just kidding, guys. No, I'm not kidding. So here we want to make sure we're even at this point, which I already said on the last one, but so we want to be even here, and then it come out all the way to the end, which it does. I'm glad it does. So yeah, these ones I cut pretty well. So one more, and we'll be ready to and tacky glue, Eileen's tacky glue from the Dollar Tree is like the best glue ever. It just, you put it down, it starts to tack almost immediately, which means that you don't have this horrible wait time. Okay, so this piece got to be trimmed a little bit. It's down a little bit too far. Pull that up. Maybe. Trim it. Because we want it to be, we want it to be even. There. Here. Pull that down. Better to be too long than to be too short. Okay, so I'm going to need more tacky glue because we're going to, anyway, the tacky glue, yeah, it starts to set up immediately. Like right now, this is already the way it's going to be. If you try to move it, it's going to peel up real hard, and you're going to ruin the lace probably. So, okay, so get it on your tip, and then come in and glue just a little bit to glue that lace to the lace. Just lift up that top piece, put a little bit of glue on it, wherever, and then put it back down. And you'll never be able to see it when it's done. That's the best part about this glue. I mean, you don't want big globs of it, but you want enough on there to keep that lace hooked to itself. I think I might have, one of these I already did it to, but I don't remember which one, so I'm just going to do them all. If it won't come up, it won't come up. This part here you don't have to worry about. Just make sure everything is down. This right here, plus you can put it on the top part too, by the way. There we go. Just make sure it's down. Yep, see this part's coming up on me a little bit. Sorry if I'm talking too low again. So I have COPD from smoking for, I don't know, 50 years. I don't know. I started very young because my brothers didn't want me to be able to tell on them. So they had me taking puffs, which I wanted to be accepted by them. My siblings did not like me. And because I was Dad's favorite, and he did not even try to hide it. I got everything, and they got nothing. And it's a terrible, terrible thing, but it happened, and it wasn't my fault. But I just wanted to be accepted by everyone. So when I caught them smoking, I'm going to go tell them. And they're like, oh no, come here, come here. Here. So after I took a puff, then they're like, well, now you can't tell on us. So use the dry end of your toothpick if you need to, lay something down. If you use the wet end, it's going to pull it up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so then, got a little crooked down here. Oh well, too bad. It's not bad, it's just a little bit. Okay, so this is what we end up with on the back. But on the front, you can see the lace coming from the back, and it looks really pretty. So, what we're going to do is, up here at the corners, we're going to go ahead and just trim it a little bit, just a tiny bit to make it rounded. Just make it a little bit more rounded than what it is. I messed up right on the first cut, but it's alright. So here we have a lot of overhang. So I'm going to cut that piece off, the piece that's kind of coming from the other side, and then that looks pretty just the way it is. So if you think it looks pretty the way it is, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Just so it doesn't, you can't see where it's all squared out from the edge of the lace. I'm sorry, I started talking low again. just such a habit of doing that when I'm here by myself and no one else is in the room. I feel like I'm talking to myself, so my voice just gets lower and lower and lower. I'm not a nut job, really. I got the camera going. So, one more here. And, you know, even it up with itself. Like, if one corner's shorter, then do that, but it doesn't have to match. This one doesn't have to match this one. Just make sure that they match, you know, beside themselves. And I think, excuse me, I think if you do this, do this cross, I think that you're really going to be pleasantly surprised. Let me put something dark behind it. I mean, pleasantly, you know, whatever. So this turns out really pretty. As you can see, like I said, make sure that your corners are even with, so like this corner, you would want to match with that corner. Mine's just a little bit out. Just be careful. I need to use those little dinky shears because these I use to cut everything. Those are the best scissors I've ever had. No name brand on them. It just says made in China. These are Fiskars here. You know these are good. But yeah. So match your two corners up here. Same thing. Match them with each other. If you have a piece of lace that's sticking out a little bit too far, just trim it down a little bit. Nobody's going to notice. No one is going to notice. So, now, with my hole's full of paint. So, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just cut that paint. You know, get that paint out of there. And then, so, excuse me, I am so sorry that I keep doing that. I like the thinner twine, so I have two different feeds of twine. I have a really thick one over here and then a really thin one. The one from the Dollar Tree, no, it's not. It's not from the Dollar Tree. I don't know where it's from, probably a flea market. Wherever I can find it. If I find it cheap, I buy it. I don't care where it's from. If it's from some dude standing on the street corner. If it's cheap, you know, if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. So, you know, we don't want to crush the lace on this. So, when we do our knots, we want to keep them out just a little bit. So, this, we want, I don't have one handy, or do I? I have a box of them somewhere that are finished, but this is just a big mess down here. Oh, here they are. Nope, I don't have one with lace. I don't have one with the lace on it. So anyway, so we want to tie our knot, but we want to keep enough room up here that we don't crush our lace. So remember, when you have a good pair of scissors, don't use it for everything. Don't use them for everything. These were, I was willing to sacrifice them for crafting from my fabric. And see, it just says stainless china on it. It doesn't give you a name brand anywhere. I don't know where I got them. I probably got these at a flea market also. But don't judge a book by its cover, because these are the best scissors I've ever had. The best. Okay, so tie your knot loosely. Not loosely in the knot, but loosely so it doesn't crush your lace. And then tie that tight. Pull that tight. and then pull it this way, because it's just going to get tighter and tighter on your lace if you're not careful. Okay, so as soon as you cut, you use your hot glue. Let me get a little bit of hot glue out of there. It smells too hot. Here we go. Always give it a good squirt first. Okay, so you're going to cut this right up against the knot, and then immediately, if you don't do it immediately, you're going to lose it. You'll have to redo your twine. And I can't tell you how many times I just like, oh, alright, I'll be there in a minute or whatever, and then I just barely touch it and my knot slips through. My strings, twines, whatever the heck it is, slips through. So you want to cut it just as low as you can, and then put some hot glue on it. And of course you don't want big globs of hot glue, so that's why I use my finger there. And sometimes my fingers are just full of sticky stuff. Like I have the tacky glue and hot glue on them now, so everything wants to stick to them. Okay, so you know, if you just put your sorry, my back hurts. If you just put your twine on like this, you know, longer to hang it, it's going to hang crooked. So if you always put one piece here, and then you have another piece to go off of that, that's what makes it hang, you know, one way or the other. It's not going to be sideways. That's why I use the two. So since I have this one in there now, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this knot there. And I have done this wrong before. I've just not thinking. I've glued my knot to the wrong side because I'm a dingbat sometimes. So if you do stuff like that, just remember, the uncoordinated crafter, because that's exactly what I am. Okay, so then we want to take this one and make our hanging knot, our hanging twine. So make our knot up here, however long you want it to be. I pull all the strings at the same time, and that makes them all tight so that it doesn't get smaller or whatever. So then we're going to do the same thing. Cut it as low to the knot as you can, and immediately hot glue it. And it don't have to be a lot of hot glue. I'm going to do it just because. Make sure that that whole knot is covered on that side. That way nothing can slip through. And then do the other side. Do the other side the exact same. Ouchie. Yeah, I got way too much on that one. That's alright. We'll fix it. Just be careful. Make sure that your glue dries before you start tugging on it or anything, because it will come undone. I've had it happen several times. Okay, so there we are. Then you can hang it. This is just little pieces of, that's the back side anyway. It's just little pieces of glue off the table, off of my parchment paper. So now you can put a bow on it. You can do something in the center if you'd like. Whatever you want to do. I have these little raffia things. You can make a flower out of it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can get it. I have, let me see if I can this burlap flower that I am quite proud of. I found from another YouTuber. Isn't that pretty? Her darling. Isn't it darling? And then I have these raffia flowers. Not the big fan of that one so much. This one seemed to be prettier for some reason. Then I put the little bow up here at the top. You can do that with your with your flat cross if you'd like, or you can just leave it with the lace on it. Actually, once I showed someone how these squared ones are turning out, I sold one immediately. Not, not for profit, but I allowed her to buy it from me because she thought it was so pretty. So I think it would be pretty with a raffia flower. Make some petals on it. Thank you for watching. Please give me a big thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button, and I hope you liked it.